A man choked his girlfriend and he got arrested. After he got out, he called his girlfriend's mother and told her he wanted to marry her daughter and he promised he would never hurt her again. And 4 days later, his girlfriend was inside his apartment. They got into an argument and he shot her twice. She was dead before police arrived. He immediately ran, still wearing the ankle monitor.
He killed my baby. I can't believe he did this to the mother of his kids. 10 years. Now my 2 grandbabies don't have a mother or a father. He don't deserve to come home. He should never come home.
Love is success.
Yeah!
Before we get into today's story, this is Buzzed Crime. Drop a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe so you don't miss out on cases like this. Sharita Christell was born on June 6, 1996. Everybody called her Rita. She grew up with 2 mother figures. Grace McCotter was her biological mother. Joyce Christelle was the woman who adopted and raised her into adulthood. Rita was warm, stylish, and full of life. She loved dressing up, going out, taking vacations, and being around her people. Her family described her as a loving mother, a devoted daughter, a cherished sister, a funny and loyal friend. Rita was also a makeup artist. She built her own brand called Makeup by Heather and went by Gorgeous Heather in her business. She did faces all across the DC, Maryland, and Virginia area and worked with local celebrities. Her mother said everybody loved her and that she built everything on her own. She had 2 daughters, Harmony and Layla. She had dreams of buying a bigger home with enough space for herself, her mother Joyce, and both of her daughters.
Harmony. Layla.
Harry Lindsey was 32 years old. He and Rita had been together for about 10 years and they had Harmony and Layla together. But the relationship was turbulent. The arguments were constant. The family had seen it for years. At some point, Harry cheated on Rita. When she found out, she ended the relationship and started moving on. According to her family, she found someone new who was making her happy.
Oh, look at Keto.
Your best was the soup of the day.
Yeah.
It's your birthday?
French onions is really popular. French onions.
Harry begged her not to leave. He told her if she left him, he was not going to be any good. He broke down. Rita didn't change her mind. Harry would later tell the Washington Post that the relationship had not ended and that the abuse allegations were not true. But everyone around Rita said otherwise. June 16, 2025, 4:21 in the morning. Police in Bladensburg, Maryland got a domestic call at the 4300 block of 57th Avenue. They showed up 2 minutes later. Harry was standing in the hallway when officers arrived. They went to check on Rita and found visible marks on her body. She told them everything. How Harry threw her to the ground, how he hit her, and almost choked her to death. Police arrested him for 1st and 2nd degree assault. Officers gave Rita information on counseling and support services, signed her up for a victim notification system. Officers ran a safety check to figure out how much danger she was in. It came back high danger.
According to police records, a domestic violence lethality assessment was conducted after that assault report, and the case was found to be high danger. Still, Lindsey was released on home monitoring. Shortly after, Sharita's family got the call that they were dreading. Now, 7 News on Your Side is asking what needs to be done to better protect victims of domestic violence. Where does the problem lie in the system if he was still allowed to be released?
I can't say why the decision was made to allow this particular defendant to be released on home monitoring. What I can tell you is that it should not have.
2 days later, prosecutors went before a judge and asked for Harry to be held in custody. They said the man who just choked the mother of his 2 children should not be walking free. The judge refused and released Harry. 11 days before Rita was killed, Harry Dominique Lindsey walked out of jail with an ankle monitor strapped to his leg and went home. After Harry got released, he picked up the phone. He didn't call Rita, he called her mother, Grace. He told Grace he loved her daughter. Grace asked him why he put his hands on Rita if he loved her. He said he wanted to marry her. Grace told him if he wanted to marry Rita, he should have done it before they had their 2 girls. She told him to never touch her daughter again.
Dominique Nancy came home from trying to strangle my daughter. He said, "Ma, I want to talk to you about something." I said, "Okay, I'm gonna listen." He said, "I love your daughter." And I said, "If you love my daughter, why would you put your hands on my daughter?" I said, "That was the wrong thing to do." He said, "What do I need to do?" I said, "You both need to go to therapy and try to fix this." He said, "I want to marry your daughter." I said, "If you want to marry my daughter, why didn't you marry my daughter before you had them 2 beautiful girls that you all have?" I said, "Don't sit on this phone and tell me that you love my daughter and you don't mean it." I said, "I'm going to tell you, don't ever put your hands on my daughter again or we're going to have a problem." He said, "Ma, I'm sorry and I love you. I love your daughter. I'll never do it again." 4 days later, he killed my baby. I can't believe he did this to the mother of his kids. 10 years. Now my 2 grandbabies don't have a mother or a father.
On July 5th, 2025. The time was 3:35 in the afternoon. Police got a call about a shooting at an apartment on Stretford Way in Landover. Harry's apartment. When they arrived, Rita was on the floor. She had been shot twice. She was pronounced dead at the scene. Neighbors heard the argument before the shots. A gun was recovered. Harry was gone. He had fled the scene, still wearing that ankle monitor. Metro Transit Police provided surveillance footage that helped track Harry's movements after he left. The fugitive unit worked through the night. By the next morning, July 6th, they found him in Capitol Heights and brought him in. Rita had just turned 29. 29 days before that afternoon. Her sister Kim posted on Facebook the day after, asking for prayers. She said Harry took her little sister, and he didn't have to do it. Police charged Harry with 1st and 2nd-degree murder. The assault charges from June were still on top of that. Harry later spoke to the Washington Post from custody. He acknowledged killing Rita but claimed he acted in self-defense. He denied the relationship had ended. He denied the abuse allegations. His account did not match what Rita told police on June 16th, what her family had been saying, or what the lethality assessment showed.
An alarming case developing out of Landover has Prince George's County leaders looking for answers and changes into how to protect victims of domestic violence. Thank you for joining me. I'm Scott Thuman. A 32-year-old man is now in custody, accused of killing his girlfriend, 29-year-old Sharita Christell, even though many are wondering why he was not in jail at the time. 7 News' Carl Willis was at today's news conference where we heard from the victim's family.
I always wonder, what could we have done differently?
Nothing but questions and tears after 29-year-old Sharita Christell was shot and killed in a Landover apartment on July 5th. The man charged with her murder, 32-year-old Harry Lindsey, the father of her 2 children, and the man accused of assaulting her days before she was killed.
On July 8th, Prince George's County held a press conference. County Executive Aisha Braveboy, law enforcement officials, and Rita's family all spoke. Braveboy, who had served as the state's attorney when the strangulation law was changed in 2020, said the homicide should not have occurred.
Or Rita, as her mother called her, and her friends. She was the victim of domestic violence. She was the victim of a homicide that should not have occurred. This homicide should not have occurred. You know, it's hard because As state's attorney, unfortunately, I handled several of these cases every single year, families who were victimized by the death of a loved one. But it was those deaths that occurred at the hands of people who the victim knew and was supposed to be loved and cared for by the victim that hurt the most. And I always wonder, what could we have done differently? How could we have prevented this death from occurring? And in a case like this, where you have a defendant who came into contact with the criminal justice system a number of times, had been convicted of possession of weapons, who was arrested and charged with first and second degree assault as it related to the victim just days before this incident happened. You think, couldn't we have prevented this? Ms. Christell was assaulted, looking back on it now, the day before I left office on the 17th of June. On the 18th of June, my office argued that the individual who had abused her, who we believe tried to kill her by strangulation, should be held without bond. Should be held without bond. Anyone who strangles you intends to kill you. Make no mistake. When someone puts their hands around your neck, a ligature around your neck, cuts off your airflow, they intend to kill you. Not just harm you, but kill you. And that's why I fought so hard back in 2020 to make strangulation a first-degree felony offense here in Maryland, so that finally the justice system would recognize the seriousness and dangerousness of this action. Victims of strangulation are 7 times more likely to be victims of homicide. That is understood, and that's why the legislature agreed with me and enhanced the penalties for strangulation, made it a first-degree felony with a 25-year maximum penalty. Before, it was treated like a misdemeanor. Now it's a felony. And so when someone is strangled by someone who they know, it is likely that they will face further violence and potential death. And so the court system also has to take that type of action and allegation seriously as well. And that's why my office and the current state's attorney also believes very strongly that strangulation is the type of offense that requires our judicial system to ensure that our victims are protected, And we absolutely must, again, ensure that victims of this type of violence don't have to encounter their abusers, don't have to live, afraid because someone out there intends to kill them. So in this case, unfortunately, the defendant was released about a week later, and then on July 5th, Ms. Christell was killed by the same defendant. I do know that our state's attorney's office, led by Tara Jackson, will get justice for this victim. I believe very strongly that they will work and fight for her memory, for her children, for her family, for her friends, for other victims who have suffered from domestic violence. Unfortunately, she serves as an example of what can happen. Please, if you are a victim of domestic violence, don't stay. Don't stay. It does not get better. It only gets worse. And if you are a victim of strangulation, please seek help. Please know that you have a criminal justice system that will stand behind you, that we will believe our victims, that we will fight for them every single day, that we have resources available to assist you to get away from your abuser. And I know it's tough being in situations where you may have children in common, or you may live together, or you've been with a person a long time. We understand the inclination to even care about the abuser. We understand that. But you gotta care about yourself more. You gotta care about your children, your family. You gotta care about the people who are positive in your life, who love you. You gotta care about you more than the person who's abusing and hurting you. And so we'll talk about the circumstances around this case. I know that our Assistant Chief, George Nichols, along with members of his team and members of the Bladensburg Police Department, will talk about how we got here. But right now, I want the family to come forward to talk about what we lost. Because it is so important to know that victims aren't just numbers. They're human beings.
Garice spoke next. She told the room about the phone call Harry made to her after his release. She repeated the whole conversation, how he said he loved Rita, how he said he wanted to marry her, how he promised he would never hurt her again, and how 4 days later, he killed her baby.
4 days later, he killed my baby. I can't believe he did this to the mother of his kids. 10 years. Now my 2 grandbabies don't have a mother or a father. He don't deserve to come home. He should never come home. Anybody that ever tell a woman that they love them, or I really mean it, they say things that they think we want to hear. But when he tell you he's going to kill you, you need to get away. He's not going to say it just to say it. He's saying it because he mean it. It's too many women out here losing their lives over domestic violence, and it's not fair. My daughter wanted to get away from him. He said, I don't want you to leave me. He said, please don't leave me, Rita. If you leave me, I'm not going to be any good. He broke down. I said, you opened this door. You cheated on my daughter. So now when she found somebody else that was making her happy, you're angry. You took her life. You get to go to jail and be free. I'll never get her back. Never get her back. Domestic violence is very serious. And people need to acknowledge this. When somebody tell you this, I don't care how afraid you are, you need to report it. Don't be scared. They're gonna tell you, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill your family. No, you tell. That's why we have 911. You call, you get help. It could save your life. And I wish I was there to try to save my daughter's life. But she's gone now. I can't believe he did this. He told me he would never, ever hurt my daughter. And he did it. And you could see the rage in his eyes. I'm sorry. This feeling, this pain that I have, it will never go away. I have to deal with this for the rest of my life. And my grandkids, they cry every day. I'm going to get them therapy. I'm going to love them. I'm going to take care of them, and I'm going to raise them the right way. And I'm going to teach them, if you ever get in a relationship and a man threatens you, you make sure you let me know, or you know how to call 911 to get help. I never thought I would be standing here talking about this right now. It's a hurtful feeling. But ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand domestic violence is very serious. Don't be afraid. Speak out and tell your truth. And it could save your life.
Said she wished she had been there to save her daughter. Rita's sister Kim spoke next. She said Joyce Christell adopted Rita and raised her. She watched her grow up from a child. She never thought she would be standing in front of cameras talking about domestic violence.
Hello, everybody. I'm gonna try to be calm. Sharita Christell was my little sister. My mother, Joyce Christell, adopted Sharita Christell. She raised her until she got an adult. And I watched her grow from a child. I never thought that I would be here to say anything about domestic violence. I always tell my sisters or any of my friends, family, anybody, if you're going through anything, if you find somebody that you can trust to talk to about anything, I know sometimes things are hard. Some people can be embarrassed or ashamed, but never feel ashamed. Don't be embarrassed. Find someone to talk to. Find your resources. There's plenty of resources out here. I lost my sister-in-law to the same situation. Her husband was on drugs. He shot her in her back and killed her. She had 4 children. They looked like their mom, and it was so hard for me to be around them so much because they looked just like her. Just like her. So please, if you can, find someone to talk to, someone to help you. There's so many resources out here. The internet is flooded with information. Just go to it, find it. Please, if you can get away, I am happy that my sister got a chance to experience love. Even though it wasn't with him, she got a chance to know what real love was. She did try to get away, but it was not in time. It was too late. Please find a way to get away. Please. Domestic violence is serious. It's nothing to play with. Never let anybody, I don't care if it's a man, I don't care if it's a woman, do not let anybody put their hands on you. Don't give them chances. Don't give them chances. Then don't believe anything they say. They're going to manipulate you to the fullest. Don't listen to them. Do what you think is best for yourself, and please, if you have children, please find a way to get out. Your kids should not see a man or woman being beat on. It just doesn't make sense. No child should be able. Those kids gonna have to grow up listening to them. He argued in front of the kids. The kids seen them arguing plenty of times. No child needs to experience that. Those kids definitely will have to get therapy. They lost their mother and their father. Sometimes, God forgive me for saying this, I wish he would have turned the daggone gun on himself. I'm sorry to say. We won't see her anymore. Not anymore. He didn't deserve to go like that. He didn't deserve it.
On July 12th, the family held a balloon release for Rita. Kim organized it. Friends, family, and community members came together to remember her.
Love you, sis. All of them. Every last one is standing out here in front of you live. We gonna miss you. Don't be up there making all those big faces up there. No.
A GoFundMe was launched to help cover funeral costs and long-term care for Harmony and Layla. On July 29th, 2025, Sharita Christell was laid to rest at Faith City Central in Temple Hills, Maryland. Councilwoman Wanuka Fisher put out a statement saying she found it concerning that Harry was released back into society after attacking his girlfriend. She said he should never have been let go, and that the failure to keep him locked up cost a young woman her life. Harry Lindsey is sitting in the Prince George's County Jail right now. No bond, charged with first and second-degree murder. The assault charges from the June choking are still stacked on top. Rita was the 10th woman to lose her life to domestic violence in Prince George's County in 2025. By the end of the year, police had investigated at least 15 domestic-related homicides in the county. Sharita Christell was 29 years old. She was a mother of 2 daughters. She was a makeup artist who built her own brand, a devoted daughter, a cherished sister, a loyal friend, and an amazing aunt. Her 2 daughters, Harmony and Layla, will grow up without their mother and without their father. If you take one thing from this story, let it be this: the most dangerous time for someone in an abusive relationship is when they try to leave. That is when the risk is highest. If someone you know is in that situation, don't wait for them to figure it out alone. Help them make a plan. Help them find resources. And if someone has been choked by a partner, that is not just an assault. Studies show they are 7 times more likely to lose their life. That is not a statistic to ignore. In the U.S., the National Domestic Violence Hotline is available 24 hours a day at 1-800-799-7233. You can also text START to 88788. If you're outside the U.S., search for your local domestic violence helpline. The call is free and it's confidential. Rita tried to get away. She did what she was supposed to do. The system was supposed to protect her. It didn't. But your voice can protect someone else. Don't stay quiet.